EA College Football 25.
When's the,
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
when's the last time I crapped on a game? Has it been a while? It's been a while, right?
It's been a while. You're
Yeah,
gonna crap on it?
It's been a couple episodes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this game sucks.
Oh, right off the bat, this game sucks. The game's not even out yet. No gameplay has been shown. But for those that don't know, EA have finally shown a teaser trailer of college football. The last one was 2014 was their last game of the NCAA college series. And now we have the announcement of college football 25 with the release of this summer and a full showcase of it in May. So let's pull up the trailer. There's not much to see here except for a dude talking about that the game is coming and a couple renders of things that they're working on. So here it is.
So I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk a couple things here. So why is this a big deal? This is indeed a big deal because they have not put out a college football game in almost 10 plus years. And the reason why they stopped putting the game out in 2014 was because a player named Ed O'Bannon filed an antitrust class action lawsuit against EA for using his likeness in the game without his permission, without giving him any type of monetary gain for using his likeness. So what happened with that lawsuit is EA agreed to pay $40 million to the players that appeared in the game. And that's spread across all of the players in the game. That's not $40 million each. They just decided on $40 million class action lawsuit, which was going to be divided amongst all of the players in the game. And that honestly would have worked. But the reason why it didn't work is because once that lawsuit of $40 million was agreed upon, the NCAA itself stepped in and they were very unhappy because at that time they forbid college players to make money on the game. So that's where that sticky situation kind of came into, where the players filed the lawsuit. But the players, even though EA wanted to pay the players, were not able to get paid because of the NCAA. So because all of that happened, EA just scrapped the entire project, and we have not seen an NCAA football game since. And I think it's kind of cool that right now we are able to do this because with the new player agreement, players are able to get paid for their likenesses. So that is why we are getting the game right now. And I think that's really, really cool because I think I get it. You're in college and stuff like that, and they don't want anything to kind of taint the sanctity of the game. But I do agree with the players here. Like if they're using your likeness in the game, right, you should get paid for that. Do you think?
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think you should get paid for that. So I think it's kind of cool that we're in a point where these players can get paid and they can put this game out because there's a lot of people that are really anticipating this game. But after that, that's where it all goes downhill for me. So if you want to say things that you love about this game, go ahead and do that because right now is the part where I'm going to flip the coin and just start bashing this game relentlessly.
Okay, Dave. And kind of going off that, like the NIL deals and stuff like that. So they actually got sued again because they were only going to play players that wanted to opt in $500 and no royalties. And I can't remember the name of the company that sued them, saying it was just way under market value. And so they settled on something again, but I don't think it was public knowledge on what they settled on for these players. But so yeah, they have come to an agreement where they will get to use their likeness.
I mean, just they have not. So the option is available, but that's one of the things that we're going to talk about here is that has not been agreed upon yet. So
gotcha.
The option is available to them, but has not been agreed upon.
Gotcha. Okay. I gotcha. Well, okay, I'm not going to, since I don't know much about what the game's going to be and what it's going to feel like, this is more like a wish list, I guess, of what I want the game to turn into. Number one thing is that I don't want it to feel like Madden at all. And I know So what like the developers come out and said is it's supposed to feel completely different than Madden. And in one way that I'm thinking that it's supposed to is it's two completely different teams. Like two different teams are working on Madden and one is working on EA college football. I know they're using the same engine, but they say they're getting to use like more of the capabilities and really change it to fit this style that they're going for with EA College. But that's not to say that it won't have a lot of characteristics of Madden. And like as you know, like Dave and I have crapped on the newer Maddens quite a bit recently, and I just really don't want it to feel like that. But I also, and I know these are some confirmed modes that they're gonna have in it. And the number one mode that I'm excited about is Road to Glory, when you get to play as a player and bring a crappy team all the way to glory to the national championship, breaking school records and things like that. Like that's cool to me. Um, a mascot mode would be really cool if they bring that back, where you can play each team as the mascots. Um, and I think that would be really cool. Like those are the wish list things for me, and I know that they'll have a lot of those things, but I just don't want it to feel like a pay to win ultimate team because that's going to be in there. Um, I don't want to become a rinse and repeat like they have with Madden. So that's kind of my wish list with the game, Dave. Let's hear your bashing. I'm ready for it.
Again, none of this has been confirmed, and I would love to see some gameplay. I think once we see some gameplay, we'll get a better kind of understanding of this here. But I will say that this game right now is already facing a lot of uphill battles. So number one, the NCAA itself is not endorsing this game, and that's why the name change has gone from NCAA football to EA's College Football 25. And I think that's a bigger deal than people are leading on, because if you're looking at the licensing of the NCAA, I think it's going to change a lot of things that people are expecting. So you talked a lot about going to the national championship, right? The national championship and the trophy and all of that stuff and the whole idea behind that is under control of the NCAA. So they're going to have to figure out a different way for you to quote unquote win the championship than what's traditional. Like people are going to be expecting like the names of these college bowls to be specific things. They're going to expect the trophies to look a certain way. Um, you know what I mean? Like it's they're not gonna have the ability to do that stuff. Like you're not gonna get like a Heisman Trophy winner. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna get a lot of the things that think people are expecting, because the NCAA is not a part of this game, and they have to not use the likenesses of those things or the formats of certain things. Or else they're going to get sued by the NCAA. So I think right then and there, you're going to get a lot of things that are not exactly correct when it comes to the college landscape and college format, and I think that's going to upset some people. Number two, you touched on the. Oh, did
I was just gonna say, I wonder if that's not that big of a deal, only because like EA, like FIFA, you know what I mean? They switched over to soccer. You know what I mean? Like EA FC. I don't know the actual name because I don't play FIFA or the new version of FIFA. But from what my friends that play it, they say it's actually been better now that it's not sanctioned by FIFA. But I could be wrong. Like I know, like those are two people. I don't know what the majority of fans think.
I mean, I could be wrong too, but I just think they're not going to be able to do certain things that like a college football fan who actually watches college football and follows the journey throughout the entire season is going to be expecting. You know, we're talking a lot about like Heisman voting and stuff like that. I think those aspects of the game are going to be kind of they're not going to be there because they can't do it, because they don't have the backing of the NCAA. So I think they're going to be missing out on a couple key things there. But I mean, only time will tell. I mean, I could be wrong too, so we'll see. But my gut says that it's just not going to have as many aspects as like some people would want it to have.
I think honestly, I don't know how much like the exact replica of the trophy matters, if that makes sense. Because like to me, like as a player, I would just be excited to play as my favorite college team, and yeah, like I want to win the national championship. But okay, let's say it's the college championship. Like that's all it's called. Like I'll be cool with that because I got to play as the Florida Gators, and you know what I mean. Like I think that's where I'd be like fine with it. And Heisman, they can come up with like most valuable player of the year or something like that, or you know what I mean. Like they'll be able to change it that way, and I don't know if all that really matters. But I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. So
It's probably not gonna matter to anybody, but I do think that there's gonna be a select kind of audience that's a little upset that that portion of the game is not there. And then also you talked about it, like I know they said they want to make this feel different from Madden, but they're using the Madden engine to make this game. I don't know how much different they can make it using the same engine. I mean, how much different could you possibly make it?
I have no idea. I'm not a game developer. I don't know all this stuff to know what they could do different. I mean, like you could say like a lot of games use Unreal Engine 5 and a lot of games feel different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the engine is the core mechanics of like how the game actually functions, right? And it has a lot to do with like the pacing and the timing and button responsiveness and you know how it's like okay, you want to make it feel different from Madden, but you're using the Madden engine. So like what does that mean? Does that mean like you're gonna put in some different plays that aren't in Madden. You're gonna put in different playbooks. Like you're gonna change some of like the catch animations, tackle animations. Like, yeah, you can change all that stuff, but you're still working on the engine that was built to create Madden. So the actual like gameplay of you actually inserting your button like inputs is going to feel the same way as Madden. And we know that like Madden has not been good.
Right. I don't know because it's like I said, it's two different teams. One team could use the full capabilities. You know what I mean? Like so Madden, they're just doing a rinse and repeat. What if this team is like, let's use the full capabilities, make it a game that people want, or they dumb it down where they're not trying to make it this ultimate experience of making it feel so real and go back to what like the arcade feel of NCAA was. Because like there'd be like games where I rush for like 1,000 yards because like you know what I mean, like it was just a fun arcade version, and I wonder like two different teams, are they going to utilize it better? And it's hard to say, especially because this isn't getting as big of a budget as Madden normally does. So I don't know, but I would hope that since it is two different teams, that it will have a big different feel to it. Where my concern is it might be just a cash grab because they're adding Ultimate Team, and I know people love Ultimate Team, but Ultimate Team is a lot of like pay to win, or you have to buy these packs and you have to do all this. And that's where I am not excited about. And like, that's where I think a lot of the effort's going to go to is that kind of thing. Cause that's where a lot of the effort of Madden is into, you know what I mean? Like making sure people can buy these packs and things like that.
So, I mean, I don't know. I would love to see some gameplay, but I honestly just feel like as much as they want to say that they're going to make this different from Madden, that it's just going to be a reskin of Madden.
Only time will tell. Unfortunately, we don't have much to go on it right now. Like I said, they'll do a full reveal in May. So coming up, and they say that it's going to release this summer. I'm going to say maybe not, though. I feel like it might get delayed. There might be some other issues with the NCAA or things like that. I will say that it is cool. Like, they're saying they're speculated to have every single FBS, like, school. So that's really cool. Like, they're not gonna be missing out. Like, if you wanna play as Alabama, you'll be able to, or if you wanna play as Missouri State, like they'll all be in there, and so that's really cool. And a lot of schools are sharing assets to make it feel authentic. So that's a good sign that there's not schools like, nope, you're not using our players, you're not using our logos. So
I mean, from what I read, there is schools that are doing that. So what I've read is they are only contacting 118 of the 134 Division One schools. So they're already leaving a little chunk of the schools off the table. They're not even interested in having them in the game. And of those 118, there are schools that have already opted out and said they don't want to be part of this game.
oh wow. Okay. Well, we just read two different sources right now. So obviously it's tough because like there's there's not a lot going on this. Like what there's not a lot revealed yet and what's going to be in the game. So yeah, obviously Dave and I read two different things. Which I could see that though. Like you're not going to pay us a bunch of money. Like we don't want this. And like I said, their budget for this game is not as high as Madden. They don't have the backing of the NFL, so they don't have the backing of NCAA. So NCAA can't say you have to do this game. You know what I mean? Like, or you get fined or things like that. So if I were a school, if you're not paying me big bucks for this, I would be the same way. Like, yeah, I don't want to be in the game. Or like, what benefit do I get in being in the game? Do we get a royalty? Like every copy you sell? Like, I know the players probably aren't going to get royalties, but what about the school? Like the school could be like, yeah, I want a royalty every time the game's sold, but I don't know. I don't know.
Same thing with the players is like right now they're working with the players union to try to get the licensing for the names. And right now, from what I've read, is that the deal on the table is still $500 per player, and the players right now are holding out on that. They believe that they should be getting more for their likeness. And like you said, this doesn't have the as big a budget as Madden, so EA just might not have the money to offer them what they want. And I think we're going to see that there's going to be situations where either EA just scraps this altogether and says, we don't care. We don't want your likeness. And you just go back to this like player 23 nonsense. Or like, there's going to be some players that like, my likeness is worth more than $500. So you'll get like a mix of like, players that have agreed to this, like now their name is in the game, and players that haven't agreed to it, they're going to be player 13, and it's just like I don't know, dude. There's a lot of challenges with this game already. So
Yeah. It's almost like a hodgepodge of like how this could go. For me personally, I don't care who's in the game. Like I don't if Caleb Williams is in the game, it won't bother me one bit because I'm not going to play as Caleb Williams. I'm going to play as Adam Geiger playing as the quarterback of this small D1 school that I want to bring into the national championship. Like that's what I want to do. I don't want to have to like I don't want to play as Caleb Williams. You know what I mean? Like I don't care about like if I want to play as like a football player, like I'm gonna go play Madden because I want to play as like Justin Herbert and things like that. You know what I mean? Like so that doesn't matter to me. So if they scrap the idea of like, okay, we're just not gonna have you in the game, like these players, like that doesn't bother me, to be honest. And I know that's probably gonna make some people mad because like there are huge fans of college football that really like the players specifically, but as a personal opinion, like I'd rather just play as myself.
yeah. No, and I totally get it. I mean, there's going to be players just like you that's the experience that they want. And I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm crapping on the game. Like, I am. I am sorry. I'm crapping on the game because I know that there's an entire college fan base that is like really excited for this. You know what I mean? But I would, as of right now, just from what I've seen and the research that I've done, it doesn't look promising. That, of course, can all change. There's plenty of time for them to change that and get the deal in place and get all of these schools lined up and show us some gameplay that is different from the Madden franchise. I mean, there's still tons of time, but just right now, my expectations of this being something that's going to be accommodating to all fans of college football are very, very low. So that's sorry, guys. Sorry,
We'll see
guys.
what happens. Especially, I think we're gonna learn so much more at the release of May, or like when they do the full reveal in May. I wonder if like I know this kind of suck for some of these lower level D1 kids, or you know what I mean. But like, I wonder if they tier it. Like, if you're a 5-star recruit, like you're Caleb Williams, you'll get like this much money, and if you're like at the bottom, like a fourth string D lineman, you'll get this amount of money. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I just don't know if they have the money to do it. And I know the money seems really, really low, but I mean, you guys got to look at it. That like we said, this game doesn't have as big a budget as Madden. Obviously, a lot of that budget is going into the development so much they can't spend a ton of money on the likenesses. And they've reached out to 118 teams. I mean, that Madden has 32 teams with 54 players on it, and that is a lot of likenesses. You know what I mean? And then you need to like look at that as like if even 100 teams say yes that they want to do this, you're looking at the likenesses of 3 times as many people as in Madden. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like it's not financially worth it for EA to do that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's a sticky situation. It really is a sticky situation. I would love to see them just figure out something that's going to work amazing for everybody and everybody's happy and we get an amazing game. But my expectations are low.